Have you ever wondered why some men lose control in bed almost as soon as things begin, no matter how confident, fit, or experienced they are? I've seen it countless times in my practice. A man walks in, defeated, terrified that he's broken, ashamed to talk about it, and convinced that passion will never feel the same again. And I understand that fear because premature ejaculation doesn't just steal seconds, it steals confidence, intimacy, and peace of mind. But what if I told you that control isn't lost? It's hidden, waiting in the way you breathe. Most men are searching for pills, sprays, or secrets online when the real solution has been sitting quietly in their own bodies all along. In this episode, I'm going to show you how a simple breathing technique backed by solid science can retrain your nervous system and help you last longer without medication, without gimmicks, and without shame. Because this isn't about performance, it's about reclaiming control, reconnecting with your partner, and remembering that confidence doesn't come from force, it comes from rhythm balance and awareness. Every week, I meet men who whisper about the same problem but carry it like a secret burden. They look healthy, successful, even athletic, yet inside they're fighting a clock they can't control. The moment passion starts, anxiety takes over. Their hearts race, breathing shortens, and within seconds, the fear becomes reality. It's not about desire, it's about panic, disguised as speed. What most don't realize is that their bodies aren't betraying them, their nervous systems are just stuck in overdrive. I can almost see the question in their eyes. Why can't I slow down? And that's exactly where the real story begins, because the answer isn't found in a bottle or a spray. It's hidden in a simple reflex you use every moment of your life, the breath. When I first explained the real reason behind premature ejaculation, most men stare in disbelief. They expect hormones, blood flow, or something mechanical. Instead, I tell them it's the nervous system, specifically the automatic switchboard that runs your body without you thinking about it. We call it the autonomic nervous system. It's the same network that decides how fast your heart beats, how quickly you breathe, and yes, when you climax, think of it like the wiring in a house. One side, the sympathetic system, powers you up. It's the gas pedal. The other, the parasympathetic system, slows you down. It's the brake. During intimacy, those two are supposed to dance together, a little excitement balanced by control. But in men who finish too quickly, that balance is gone. The gas pedal is slammed to the floor, the brakes are barely working, and the body races toward a finish line long before the mind wants it. This imbalance doesn't come from weakness or lack of willpower. It's shaped by years of stress pressure and even modern habits, scrolling late at night, constant stimulation, caffeine overload. Your nervous system learns to stay in survival mode, always alert, always ready to fire. Over time, it stops listening to subtle cues of relaxation. That's why, even in moments meant for pleasure, your body behaves as if it's running from danger. And here's the part most men find surprising. This overdrive can be rewired. Your nervous system isn't fixed. It's flexible, responsive, trainable. You can actually teach your body to shift from panic to control, from rush to rhythm. The key isn't found in your muscles or your mind alone. It's found in something you already do 20,000 times a day without noticing: breathing. Because when you learn to control your breath, you start to control everything else. I often tell my patients that climax isn't just a physical event. It's a neurological reflex, like a light switch triggered by signals in the spinal cord. Most men try to fight it with sheer willpower, but you can't outthink a reflex that's been hardwired since birth. When your sympathetic system fires, it releases a surge of adrenaline, heart rate spikes, muscles tighten, and blood rushes to the pelvis. That chain reaction was designed for survival, not for slow, mindful pleasure. Imagine flooring a car's accelerator while trying to steer through traffic. You can grip the wheel tighter, but you'll still skid if you don't ease off the gas. That's what happens inside the body. Too much adrenaline, not enough regulation. Breathing becomes shallow oxygen, drops muscles in the pelvis, lock up, and within seconds, control is gone. I once treated a man in his 50s who told me, "It feels like my body outruns my mind." That sentence stuck with me because it describes exactly what's happening. His nervous system was sprinting while his awareness lagged behind. But once he learned how to shift that balance by slowing the breath and retraining the pelvic muscles, his experience changed completely. He didn't just last longer, he felt calmer, more connected, and more confident. Science supports what he discovered. Studies using heart rate variability, a marker of nervous system balance, show that men who practice controlled breathing activate the parasympathetic or rest and digest side. Their bodies literally learn to pause instead of rush. Over time, that pause becomes strength. So if you've ever felt trapped by timing, it isn't weakness, it's wiring. And the good news is wiring can be rewired. You can reprogram those reflexes to work for you instead of against you. Because the secret to control isn't found in force, it's found in rhythm. And to build that rhythm, you start with the one system you can consciously control every second of the day, your breath. The first time I noticed how breathing could change everything was during a routine pelvic floor session. A patient was tense, anxious, rushing through every contraction. His muscles were strong, but his breath was shallow. He was holding it without realizing. So I told him, "Stop. Don't squeeze, just breathe." Within minutes, his muscles loosened, his shoulders dropped, and his entire rhythm shifted. That single adjustment turned struggle into control. It was such a simple thing, yet it changed the outcome more than any medication I'd prescribed. I started to pay attention to every sigh, every pause, every breath pattern. And the same pattern appeared again and again. Men who breathed fast lost control fast. Those who learned to slow down to feel each inhale and exhale gained minutes of lasting power. It wasn't magic, it was biology. Breathing is the bridge between body and mind. When you inhale deeply, you stimulate the vagus nerve, a powerful line that connects your lungs, heart, and pelvic organs. This nerve is the gateway to your parasympathetic system, the part responsible for calm, control, and balance. The deeper and slower you breathe, the stronger that system becomes. It's like giving your body permission to slow down while staying fully alive. Think of it this way: most men treat breathing like background noise. It's automatic, unnoticed. But when you bring it to the forefront, it becomes your steering wheel. Every slow breath signals your brain you're safe, you can relax. And that single message turns off the adrenaline that used to sabotage your control. I like to call it biohacking the body's rhythm. You're not fighting nature, you're working with it. And when you do, your body starts responding differently. Your heartbeat slows, your focus sharpens, and your timing follows your will, not your fear. The moment most men realize this, their faces change. They go from skeptical to curious because, for the first time, the idea of control feels possible. But this discovery didn't stay a theory. It was tested, measured, and proven in one remarkable study that forever changed how I treat this condition. A few years ago, researchers decided to put this connection between breathing and control to the test. 62 men volunteered for an 8-week program. All of them had been struggling with premature ejaculation for years. They were divided into 2 groups. Both groups practiced the standard behavioral therapy. I often recommend the stop-start technique and pelvic floor training. which teaches men to contract and release the muscles at the base of the pelvis. But one group added something new, diaphragmatic breathing, also called belly breathing. Each man in the breathing group was taught to sit upright, place a hand on his abdomen, and take slow, steady breaths through the nose. The goal was to feel the belly rise as they inhaled and fall as they exhaled 10 repetitions twice a day. Nothing fancy, no equipment, just awareness and practice. At first, many were skeptical. One participant told me later, "I didn't believe breathing could fix this. It sounded too simple." But within weeks, patterns began to change. Their heart rates during intimacy slowed, their anxiety eased, and they started to notice more control. By week 8, the results were impossible to ignore. Before the training, these men lasted about 30 seconds on average. After 8 weeks, the control group, those who did only the traditional exercises, improved to roughly 2 minutes and 38 seconds. That's already a huge gain, a 700% increase. But the breathing group, they jumped from 30 seconds to over 5 minutes, an astonishing 900% improvement. Numbers alone don't tell the whole story, though. These men didn't just last longer, they felt different. Their pelvic floor muscles grew stronger, their endurance improved, and most importantly, their confidence returned. Many described a newfound calm they hadn't felt in years. One man said, "For the first time, I felt like I was leading the moment, not chasing it." Researchers measured something called heart rate variability, a window into how balanced your nervous system is. Higher variability means more resilience and flexibility, the ability to shift from stress to calm. The breathing group showed a significant jump in that metric. In plain English, their bodies learned to stay in control instead of flipping into panic. These findings confirmed what I'd been witnessing in my clinic. The breath isn't a side note, it's the foundation. When you breathe right, your body sinks, your nerves settle, and your control naturally extends. The implications go far beyond intimacy. The same nervous system training that steadies your timing also helps blood pressure, sleep, and mental focus. It's as if the body learns one universal language of calm. Still, the beauty of this method lies in its simplicity. Anyone can do it. You don't need a prescription, you don't need an appointment, and you don't need to tell anyone. All it takes is intention and consistency, and that's exactly what I teach my patients. Next, how to integrate this breathing into daily life so it becomes automatic, a habit as natural as blinking. Because once you learn the method, you'll never see your breath the same way again. So let's make it real. Let me walk you through how to practice this technique the right way, step by step, and start reprogramming your body for lasting control. Whenever I teach this method, I remind men that mastery comes from consistency, not intensity. You're not trying to force control. You're retraining your body to trust a new rhythm. And it starts with something you already have, your breath. Here's what I tell them to do. Find a quiet moment twice a day, morning and evening works best. Sit upright in a chair or on the edge of your bed with your feet flat on the ground. Place one hand over your lower ribs and the other over your abdomen. Close your eyes and inhale slowly through your nose for about 4 seconds. As you do, feel your belly rise under your hand. Hold that breath for just a second, not tense, just aware. Then exhale gently through your nose for about 5 seconds, letting your belly fall. Do that 10 times. That's it. It sounds almost too easy, but that simplicity is what makes it powerful. With each slow breath, your vagus nerve sends a message to your brain. You're safe, you're in control. Over time, those messages reshape your reflexes. What used to trigger anxiety now triggers calm. Once you've built that foundation, combine it with light pelvic floor contractions. Think of it as tightening the muscles you'd use to stop urinating midstream. Contract for 10 seconds, then relax for 10, do 15 rounds, then switch to quick pulses, 1 second on, 1 second off for 10 more. 3 times a week is enough to start. Here's the key. Always breathe while you do it. Never hold your breath. Breathing fuels control. Tension drains it. And when you feel ready, integrate it into real-life situations. Try practicing deep breathing during your workout warm-ups, during a stressful meeting, even when you're driving. You're training your nervous system to stay steady under pressure, not just in intimate moments. One of my patients told me he practiced this before bed every night. After a few weeks, he noticed he was sleeping better, thinking clearer, and feeling calmer throughout the day. By the end of 2 months, his timing had improved dramatically, and he didn't need any external aids. That's the beauty of this approach. It's not a quick fix, it's a skill. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes until control feels effortless. But the real transformation isn't just about time, it's about presence. And that's the part most men don't expect yet. It's the most powerful change of all. Over the years, I've watched men reclaim control, not just over their timing, but over their sense of self. The first thing they notice isn't the minutes they gain, it's the calm. Their breath deepens, their shoulders lower, and the tension they once carried in silence begins to dissolve. Intimacy stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like connection again. Confidence returns, not from dominance, but from awareness. The science is clear, but the feeling is even clearer when your body and mind finally move and sync time slows, clarity grows, and pleasure lasts longer than performance ever could. That's what this method gives back. Not just control, but confidence, peace, and presence. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to last forever, it's to live fully in the moments that matter. And that's exactly where the next part of this story leads. If there's one thing I hope you take from today, it's that your body isn't broken. It's simply waiting for you to guide it back into balance with just a few minutes a day. 10 deep breaths, steady focus, gentle awareness. You can retrain your system to respond with confidence instead of panic. That's the real power of this practice. It's not about chasing perfection. It's about rebuilding trust between your body and your mind. I've seen men in their 30s and men in their 70s change their lives with this single habit. They didn't do it overnight. They did it through patience, through consistency, and through believing that progress, even slow progress, is still progress. Every breath you take in awareness strengthens more than muscle control. It strengthens belief, presence, and connection. So start tonight. Sit quietly, breathe slowly, and remember, control begins long before the moment. It begins right here, right now, in how you breathe. If this video gave you hope or something new to try, save it and come back to it when you need a reminder. And if you want more evidence-based ways to improve your health, your confidence, and your energy, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell and join our community. Your health deserves attention, and your confidence deserves care, and your journey deserves support. Tell me in the comments, have you ever tried breathing exercises before? I'd love to know what you experienced. Take care of yourself, and remember, change doesn't start in a doctor's office. It starts in a single intentional breath.